Hey everyone. Wow. I swear, I cannot keep up around here. If you miss 12 hours, it is like you have missed 2 weeks of stuff that has happened and you cannot catch up. Especially when people delete streams, hide streams, all of that bullshit. Like, it's really hard to keep up with what's happening. So I hate when I do some of these. I feel like I'm talking about stuff that was weeks ago, even if it was just a few days ago. To me, it feels like it was weeks ago. So if these seem like a little behind on the current topics that are happening, I apologize. I'm trying to like catch up. I can't do these every day, so I take notes as the days go by of what I want to talk about and try to get back to it. So apologize for that. Also, I'm gonna try something a little different on this one. I have a few clips from BJ's True Crime Live last night. That was supposed to be the 2 year Sebastian update, stream. That was horrible. But I got some clips from it, and I'm gonna add them in here and kind of commentate on the few things that I see that are egregious, her new word. And because I know, like, okay, so Clue has lost her channel. People are starting to ice BJ out, which is great. I think that if people quit reviewing her and you just have a few clip channels or channels that record the streams instead of everybody reviewing her every day, I think she is going to starve if she doesn't get the attention and the drama back. She's not going to have content. So I agree with this icing her out thing. I am still going to cover the things that she does that are insane, especially when they are on her true crime lives, because that is where her behavior is really unacceptable. If she wants to go on her drama channel and do drama, do whatever, quit taking people to court. But on your true crime channel where you're actually tagging victims and have their names and faces up, and you are sleeping and correcting in the background talking sexual and all of that shit's going on, I'm going to call that out still. So it's not going to be like a complete ice out from everybody. It's not. And I know that Granny has court stuff going on, and she's going to still talk about that as it happens. And that has to involve BJ because she's the one that did it. So, but I know since people aren't reviewing her every stream, everyone isn't catching the things that are happening. So there were a few things I wanted to point out from the live. So I thought, well, I'll just put a clip in and then I'll commentate on what I heard. I'll play the clip and then I'll commentate afterward and see how that goes, because I am not comfortable enough to do live stream to commentate. So I'm just going to see how this works. Also, I am having my next oral surgery on Monday. So I will probably not be around for probably next week because I'm having, so I'll fill you in a little bit since I've talked about this somewhat. So I've told you I have autoimmune, and that plus the medications I have to take for it, destroyed my teeth. So I have no upper teeth, and I haven't had them for about a year now. And it's been a struggle. I haven't been able to eat what I like to eat for the longest time, and it's so frustrating, but I had to do this in stages instead of doing it all at once like most people do, because I am immunosuppressed. Because with autoimmune, your body is attacking your own organs and joints and connective tissue. So I have to take several medications that suppress my immune system. So I don't want to bore y'all and go into too much detail, but what I'll say is, because I'm immunosuppressed, I've had to do this in stages. The first stage was to place 3 of my implant stems and pull all my teeth and place those. And then I had to wait 3 months for that to heal, did a CT scan, make sure it's healed. The next step was to do a sinus lift and a bone graft in my gum so that they had bone to place the next stem in. Had that done, and I've now waited 5 months, and I'm now having one of my front implants, I'm having bone loss around it, which is part of the side effects of the medications I take. That's a concern we had because medications I take impact my bone growth and what's called bony turnover rate. So we were afraid of this happening, but he said that we may have to take that one out and place another one right beside it, but we don't know. So that's what this next surgery is. I'm getting my last implant stem placed. They're going to either pack bone around the one that's got bone loss or take it out and replace it nearby. And then I have another implant stem that is hitting a sharp piece of bone when I eat. So they're going to have to take it out and put a pillow around it so that it's not hitting that bone. So this surgery is going to be a big one, like my first. I'm going to have sutures all the way across my upper gums. So fun. But I won't be talking for a little bit after that. So That's the reason I said all that. And I'm sorry, y'all can I should have told y'all to fast forward if you're not interested, but so that's what's happening. And since I'm having another surgery, I can't get my monthly infusion for my immune suppression. So that means my autoimmune kicks into overdrive. And I have all kinds of just issues. So I'm dreading it. I'm actually dreading next week. But I guess if BJ can come on here and ask for prayers for a cold, maybe I can ask for prayers for my surgery, just that they're able to fix my other implant and place the last one and that things go well. Because I am nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I know y'all all wanted to know that, but I was trying to explain why I might be absent for a little bit. Okay, sorry, that went on way too long. Okay, now back to YouTube. So, Clue has lost her channel. It's interesting because there's a lot of finger pointing going on over there. Everybody wants to point the finger at somebody else. People are admitting that someone's to blame and then taking it back and pointing the finger another place. And it's all interesting. And then we have, of course, on top of that, you have the fact that Craig talked for like 4 months about people losing channels. So it's interesting that this is happening. And I do think that mass reporting works. There's a lot of us who go in and report things that violate TOS, as we see them. It never seems to work if it is just one person reporting something, honestly. To get a channel down, I do believe that it is mass reporting that draws their attention. I also know that people can have 0 strikes, and if there is enough attention brought to a certain aspect of their channel, if they have actually done something against the community guidelines, this is what sucks about it because it's like AI, there's no human emotion put into it. They can't understand responses and, they can't look at one response and go, oh, well, this person said something just as bad and should also have their channel removed. If you're removing this one for their response, you should be removing the other one because what they said initially was just as bad. And that's a big issue with YouTube. The creators that make the money on this platform, they're doing them a great disservice by not having human interaction available. Because I have seen someone who had their channel terminated, and I actually, with my own eyes, viewed the interaction of the appeal. I know that the responses you get from them are extremely vague. You may get to chat with a human person or email back and forth with a human person, but they do not give you detailed information. They cannot tell you this live stream on this date, you said this thing, that was the bottom line. We couldn't read it, we terminated you. You can't do that. They will say, well, you violated our harassment and bullying guideline, and we determined it was severe enough to terminate, and that's what they give you. We're sorry. They'll give you shit like, we understand that your channel means a lot to you, and we're trying to work with you, and we want to do whatever we can to help you, and blah blah. They'll give you all this lip service from these they're actually like tech support. They're not even, I don't even think they're people that could do anything if possible. So YouTube is shitty on enforcing policies. There is no equal enforcement. There is no, if you say this, you're going to get struck, because two people can say the exact same thing and one could get struck and the other won't. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. So it makes it a very messy and unpredictable platform where a lot of things are gotten away with. And the only way that I have ever seen channels get terminated is by mass reporting or by someone that is a higher up at YouTube getting contacted. That's the only way that I've seen channels terminated. I've never seen one terminated from just like a few random reports coming in. As a matter of fact, it seems like most of the time you could see something horrific said or done on YouTube and report it, and it won't be touched because it's not enough to bring their attention to it. But you get a group of people doing it, or somebody with some power behind their name to notify them, and then you get something done, and that's the only way. For BJ to sit over there and say, well, y'all were getting age restricted because YouTube was telling you you're about to, we're watching you and we're about to end your channel if you don't straighten up. No, that's not how that works. These people have been on YouTube for years saying the exact same things all along. Suddenly, they're in a back and forth with someone, and that someone is talking about getting channels taken. She hires an attorney to get channels taken. She has a group of people who are dedicated to getting channels down. And suddenly, only one group of creators is getting age restricted for the same content they've always put out. You cannot tell me that YouTube suddenly saw all these channels and thought, oh, they're violating. But they've never caught them before for the same content. Now, if it was one creator getting it, maybe I might believe that, but it's multiple that are all in this group of creators that one specific creator doesn't like. So I don't believe in coincidence. Something over there is being done to report creators over here. And I'm not threatening. I'm telling you, it never works out good. Even if BJ isn't responsible, whoever is reporting has to know that she's going to be the first person people look at because she has bragged about getting channels taken down, or her man has, I guess I should say, has talked about getting channels down for months. So if it wasn't her group of people, the other group doing it had to know that she was going to be the one blamed after everything that's been said. And there are also, those groups are also going back through past live streams, like a year or so ago, going through each stream, finding things to report on these certain creators. So, yeah, don't tell me that there aren't people working together to report, okay? And subscribers are going to do what they're going to do. You know, whenever you consistently hide your streams, you better believe that there is a person gathering URLs every time you go live because they know you're going to hide it, and they also know you're going to violate somewhere in there. That the blame is going to be pointed somewhere that is most apparent, and nobody has control over that. You know, that's whatever happens, but you have to, whoever did it has to know there was going to be a certain person blamed for it. And BJ, by the way, you do have a preservation order. You might want to call your attorney and ask, you know, instead of just sitting there and going, well, nobody told me I have one, so I don't have one. Why don't you be an adult, pick up the phone, call your attorney? If you can't speak to him, the secretary answering, you can leave a message with her saying, I am his client. I need to know this. Can you please let me know? She can even ask and call you back. I mean, that's why all of these, sorry, side note, tangent. That's why all of these people talking about BJ could get him for insufficient counsel, say that he didn't represent her well enough. No, BJ made no attempt to be involved in this case. She has sat back, paid not a penny, and just let everything happen. I do not believe for 1 second that she has made numerous attempts to contact him, because if I were involved in this and I wasn't hearing from him, I would be calling every plaintiff that is involved in this also and asking if they're getting through to him. Can they get a message? Can they tell you what's happening? I would be blowing their phone up. There's no way I would have been sitting back, letting things happen and not being involved in a court situation that I signed into. You are a grown adult with, well, 6 kids now. You're not stupid. You know, if you can't make your own decisions, then there's issue there. You need to be an adult, pick up the phone, stay on top of your lawsuit that you are involved in, and quit sitting back and just thinking things are going to happen for you. You have a preservation order. You can get in trouble for deleting streams for the past year and a half. It's just the truth. And you can't say he didn't tell me. You have to call. Just like you're not going to get subpoenaed to a court case that your attorney initiated. That's not how court works. Grow up. You're not a teenager. You like to talk like one, and people think you're a lot younger than you are because you don't want to adult, but you are an adult. You need to act like one. Quit trying to put the blame off on everybody else for the shit that you're doing. I'm tired of handling her with kid gloves, like, especially now that she's pregnant again, if she is. There's no reason that she can't take care of her life. She is lazy. She thinks if she ignores things, they're just going to go away. She thinks everyone else is going to handle everything for her, that she could just sit there and play sweet, innocent, naive, helpless young woman, and everyone is going to scramble to do everything for her. And it's worked in the past, but I don't think it's going to work much longer, especially now. Like, I'm telling you, you are violating things in your lawsuit, and you're going to wait and find out from the judge what you violated if you're not contacting your attorney. And that's just it. You should have been blowing his phone up trying to get answers. If you can't just say, I called 3 times and I didn't get anything. No, if you need to know something, you keep calling until you get the answer. So that's not going to be a good excuse in court. I hate to tell you. Okay, back to what I was talking about. The whole reporting thing. So that's just what it is. It's not, YouTube is not just suddenly picking up on 3 or 4 creators that all get along well. You know, they're not going to suddenly start picking apart their past content. Like, that's being initiated by someone. And we know that reality is reporting because she is not good at being sneaky and sly. She talks way too much. We know that she's doing some of the reporting because the other night she knew Nonsense had gotten an age restriction before Nonsense even knew she got it. So the only way that you know that is if you have reported and you go into your report status and you see that something you reported got age restricted. So she said that on BJ's stream before Nonsense even knew it happened, and it was an old stream. So you cannot tell me that reality is not reporting. She is. Plus, we know that people have slipped up over there and said that she's reporting. So, yeah, we know that there's reporting from that side happening and it is getting seen by YouTube. So I have to believe that it is a group of people possibly led by reality. I don't know, but I guarantee that BJ knows about it. I'm not buying the innocent. I'm just a channel owner. I'm not doing any of that mean stuff. Although we heard for like 6 months Craig in the background saying this one's going to go down and then this one's going to go down and then it's going to be like dominoes, one after another. And yeah, so we all know what we're keeping an eye on. But for everyone saying that Clue knows why she got taken down, no, Clue knows a general which guideline she got taken down for. You do not know detailed. You don't know by who. You don't know exactly what it was. You probably don't even know exactly what streams they looked at. So that is a false statement. And I think that it's a real shame that it's happening. Clue had a very large audience, and there was a lot of people that really depended on her, and her positive view of herself and trauma and things really helped some of her viewers. And it sucks that her channel's gone. And I know that she's somewhere else on another platform, but some people aren't going to go. BJ was doing something on one of her streams a few days ago and talking about AOL and like dial up and AOL chats and all of that. And I don't know, it just kind of hit me like, this girl is almost the same age as me. Like, she is not this young, naive person who needs help with everything. She is a grown adult just like me. She has more children than me, and she's been around for a long time. And I think sometimes people forget that because BJ portrays this little innocent, what does she say, shrinking violet, and she uses that sweet, syrupy Southern voice, and she uses the lingo of like teenagers and younger people. She acts like she doesn't know what's going on all the time. You know, the whole I need my audience to tell me what to give my child for a sore throat, even though this is my 5th child and I should know what the fuck I'm doing. All of that, you know, she uses all of that to be more appealing. That's why she used her old avatar for so long, because when you have somebody who has this cute little avatar, they've got this sweet voice, they're talking like they're very naive to the world, and they're overly love bombing everyone, you know, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, is that your real hair? Oh, I'm like, that's so, you know, all of that stuff. That is way more appealing than an overweight, angry, lazy, lying woman that's almost 40. It's just whenever she is on her true crime channel trying to get new viewers, you'll notice that she's using the soft, naive, I'm a young, dainty girl just trying to support my family voice. But when she's doing drama, it's not that. And that is part of her manipulation. And she's very good at using that. And it works for her. It had worked for her. People now have caught on to who she really is. And she can't use that little girl avatar anymore. And now, don't get me wrong. She still has supporters that buy into this naive, I can't do anything for myself. But most people have figured her out and aren't buying it. You know, that's also the way that she's been so lazy all this time, because people sit there and act like, I don't know what to do. And just like she's talking about making a baby registry, right? And someone saying, oh, you need to get on Walmart and do a baby registry. And she's like, and I think Angela said something. She's like, oh yeah, Angela, I need you to help me with that. I don't know how to even go about that. What? Your 6th child. You don't know how to make a baby registry. You are full of shit. That's the stuff I'm talking about. There's no way that this 38-year-old mom of 6 doesn't know how to make a fucking baby registry. That is ridiculous. But people buy it. They buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, poor BJ. She doesn't know what she's doing. I gotta help her. No. It's all an act, and it's all to appeal to people so that she tricks them into who she actually is, and tricks them into staying with her and following her, and it's all fake. I also have to say, when she started talking about the AOL stuff, and I had that thought of, wow, our ages aren't that far apart. I also thought, thank God I'm not pregnant. BJ even had the nerve, like a week ago or so, to say, how long are y'all gonna make me pay for this injunction? And it was like, what? And she's talking about because she thinks she's been attacked over this injunction, which is completely false. She has no idea how serious this injunction is. Like, BJ has literally paid nothing for this injunction. She signed the dotted line and then sat back and waited for everything to be done for her. She did not care to check up on it, to call, to find out what's happening, to keep in contact with anyone. She just thought she could sign it and sit back and they would take Granny down and everything would be fine and great and her channel would grow and prosper and blah, blah, blah. She really has no idea. And that's what she's done. She signed it and then she's like it never happened to her because she hasn't had to do anything else. Meanwhile, Granny and Barbecue have been in and out of court several times, and their attorneys have had to respond to numerous other filings that have been placed, and BJ has had to do literally nothing. But whenever the final judgment is made, the moment that BJ will understand the seriousness of this is whenever the thing that she loves the most is affected, and that's her money. Once it touches her money, she'll understand it, and only then. But other than that, she has had to do absolutely nothing for any of this litigation. Well, she can't even stay awake during her drama streams now, even in the afternoon. She can't stay awake. And the people saying, well, she's pregnant, she's tired, she's a pregnant mom, she's tired. She has been falling asleep for 2 years now. Like, no, that's not an excuse. And even if it was tiredness that just started with the pregnancy, then your body is telling you you need sleep. So go to bed, quit logging on and sleeping. I still don't understand that. And this final decision she made to bring her daughter on here, I think it finally showed people who she is and what matters to her. The question that I heard was disgusting and unreal, and I'm glad that there are people that understood finally what she is about, and what matters most to her is her online image. That is it. You don't complain and complain that you're being harassed and people are going real life on you and you're scared and your kids are scared and your man is scared and everybody's scared, and then bring your daughter into the middle of it. You don't do that. It was the stupidest thing I have ever seen her do. And I am glad that people had enough restraint and respect for her daughter that she didn't have to not review that over and over or be ugly to the daughter. I am glad that we have that restraint over here. And we get the usual, people are too nosy. People are looking into my family as BJ hands out every detail about her family online. She starts talking about having a conversation with one of her older sons about middle school and about the things that happened while he was in middle school and the things that they did. And she makes a comment of, I don't know how I missed some of that stuff that they did in middle school. And it just amazed me. And I'm thinking, well, I don't live with you. So of course you didn't know what was going on in middle school. But I'm going to tell you, I've raised multiple children and middle school is rough on boys. I know that one of your younger is getting into middle school, and from just what I hear in the background over there, I worry about him in middle school. I do, because people are mean, and I think that did him a great disservice by choosing his name, and I mean the way to spell it, not the name Neil, but the way they chose to spell it, because you obviously don't know how cruel middle school and high school boys can be to other boys. And I hope to God for that child that it doesn't turn into something like that. I know that my children are all pretty well adjusted and actually have gone to therapy and things for things that have happened in their life. But when they got into middle school, they all struggled. All three of them had issues, and they were involved in sports and things at school. There are all kinds of things, but they ran into situations in middle school that they had never experienced before, and it broke my heart as a mama. And to talk to the staff there and figure out the things that happen in middle school now, it's a different world than it was when we were in middle school. And I'm in my like mid 40s, so that's the age range I'm talking about. It's kind of shocking, but social media, especially because whenever we left school, if we got bullied at school, if we were having a breakup at school, whatever, when we left school, we left it at school. It couldn't follow us home. These kids now can't escape it. If they get bullied at school, they will be sought out on social media, bullied on all the social media accounts, gaming accounts, everything. They cannot escape it. People will sneak pictures. It's just all kinds of things. I feel so bad for our children today that cannot get away from the public. It's constant. And it's really sad because I can't imagine not being able to come home and just know that my school day's over. If I want to go hang out with friends, I can. If not, I'm laid in my bed watching TV. And that was it. There wasn't any, I got to check in on my social media. I got to post this because my friends are. I got to have this type of clothes to post. Everything is crazy. And I'm so glad that I didn't have to do it. But it really bothers me for this generation, future generations, that this is the mental stress that they live under where they cannot get away from it. It's constantly there. If they want to be online, they will never get away from criticism. Okay, so I'm gonna do some of this commentary and try this out and see how it works, okay? So what I'll do is I'll play a clip and then I'll come on and I will talk about what we have just watched and what I think about it, because there were some interesting things. Yesterday was her coming on in the afternoon to finish her drama stream from the night before that she slept through, even though it was the 2-year anniversary of Sebastian's disappearance, and she was definitely going to cover Sebastian. She came on in the afternoon to do a drama stream, was falling asleep during that, and then she read Nick's community post at the end and got all angry and rage quit that, and then she came back to do the Sebastian stream at night at 1 o'clock in the morning, came on and got aggravated by comments, ended it, came back, slept through it. It was a mess. So I'm just going to play a little clip, talk about it, play a clip, talk about it, and see how that goes, okay? So I could go on and on about last night. This is why she does not need to be doing true crime. Oh, and real quick, I see that she has come live today talking about she's so sick and she was so tired. Last night was bad and she apologizes, but she was sick and she hasn't gone back to bed any this week. And if you notice, on the weekends, she's not tired. It's just during the week. And she is so embarrassed about last night. And how many times have we heard that she's embarrassed about falling asleep? But does she change anything? Nope, never. I don't care if you're pregnant. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you haven't slept. If you can stay awake or not. If you can't, don't log on, especially to do true crime. I mean, grow up. Okay, so reviewing last night.
I guess we can do the one on my boy. I'll just have to kind of. Last year he did it without commentary. Elizabeth, I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Are you sure? Yes. Why wouldn't I be? Are you serious? Why would you even listen? I'm not even going to respond to something like that. Yeah, it's thundering and lightning and raining here really hard. Jamie, be safe. Where are you at? Oh, I don't have my glasses on.
So she comes on and like almost immediately she is talking to the chat and somebody comes in and says something about her because she starts off complaining that she don't feel good, right? So somebody comes in and makes a comment, and so she's scolding them, and of course Craig's in the back. Your mama does that. Like, okay, we're starting off. You have Sebastian in your title. This is how you're starting off. You've started off already complaining because somebody came in the chat and said one thing that you didn't like. And then when you comment on it, you got Craig back there being a child. That's how this is starting out. This is a true crime stream, 2-year Sebastian disappearance anniversary, and this is how she's starting it out. It's sounding great already. We are like minutes in. So let's see how this goes.
Hold on a second, guys. It's so loud, whatever you're watching.
I'll turn it down.
Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I'm pulling it up on Google. Thank you. Thank you, Ashlyn. Alabama. So a lot of you guys getting bad storms? Put a one in chat if you're getting bad storms right now. Sorry, guys, for everybody that is messed up. Let me see. I hate when I'm catching a cold and my everything smells
What's
like
your name is Nicole.
everything smells like chemicals and
You are the
okay.
Nicole.
All right.
Ride my pole.
Stop, Craig. I'm doing a true crime case. Please don't do that.
Just check.
Give me a second, guys.
These nuts.
Craig, seriously, it's inappropriate while I'm doing this. Jesus, I'm sorry, you guys. I really am sorry.
So then she wants to play Katie's interview, which of course she has not thought ahead and gotten it pulled up or even know where to find it. There's people that have covered it, but she doesn't want anybody else's commentary over it. She wants to do her own, I'm sure, because she wants to trash Katie. But anyway, she never comes prepared. She's never researched anything. Like, it's ridiculous. God, I do not understand how people watch her for true crime. But so then we hear her tell a child to turn it down. It's too loud. Or she says, what you're playing is loud. And he said, you hear a child say, okay, I'll turn it down. I did not zoom in on the background. I'm just listening with my regular earbuds in. And I hear it clear as day. So he says, okay, I'll turn it down. Well, we can already hear Craig is sitting near her. He can barely talk. He is so drunk. His speech is so slurred. Like, it's hard to understand him here in a few minutes when he talks again. He gets so slurred. But we know this child is in the room and does not have headphones in, right? Because he's playing something on a phone or tablet, whatever, and it's interfering with VJ's stream because she comments that it's loud. So that means he's listening to it with no earbuds. He's just sitting in the room, no earbuds. He can hear everything going on. And we hear Craig start doing his normal BS. And at one point, one of his comments are something about you can get on this pole or get on my pole or something like that. Something sexual, of course. And disgusting. I give it to her that she did tell him to stop this time because it's not appropriate for true crime, which he was so drunk, I don't even know that he comprehended it. But he says, okay, well, I'm getting ready to leave then, and I hope you do okay, or something, because he knows she's going to fall asleep, and he's not going to be there to wake her up. So he makes that comment before, I guess he does leave the room, or he passes out, because we don't hear him again. This child is in the background with no headphones in, hearing his dad talking about her getting on his pole there in the gross. Who thinks that is appropriate? Like, is the stuff that people hear and get angry about. Okay? And I don't need any special hearing equipment to hear what is going on. I am trying to review BJ's True Crime Live with my regular cheap earbuds in. Okay? There's nothing magnified. I haven't done anything to it. Hear all of this plain as day. So anybody else coming to this channel to watch an update on Sebastian, this is what they're hearing.
Here we go.
I'm about to leave anyway. I hope you can do well.
Let me see.
Craig is about to go.
Let's see. All right, hold on, guys.
What if Ninja Turtles could talk?
Mm.
They lead to the sewer.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull it up. I should have got this before, but of course, nothing can go right anymore. So, what else is new?
Oh, I know it's new.
What did y'all say? What did y'all say that it was? Yeah, I feel terrible. I really do.
Oh my God. So after he says he's going to walk out of the room, he's still sitting there apparently and says, what if the Ninja Turtles really could talk? What? This is how drunk this man is, okay? This is the environment they are bringing a baby into. Okay, you're hearing he's almost incoherently drunk. You have a child that she says is sick in the room behind her, and then she is going to fall out snoring shortly. Out. So she's complaining, of course, about trolls and complaining that she don't have anything ready as normal. she doesn't ever get anything ready, and she's always apologizing like, next time I'm gonna have things ready. And then she's like, everything's going wrong, of course, because she can't search for a video and find it. Like, she's awake trying to find something, she cannot do it. She's usually has to get a mod to find it for her because she can't. I don't know what the problem is there, but it's a real problem for her.
Honestly, I'm over it. I don't feel good. It is what it is. I just cannot believe that. Let me just go ahead and put it on members only. Give me a second. Thank you, Missy.
So I went ahead to about the 30-minute mark. And so here we're listening. She is still trying to find a video to play and apologizing. And as she's doing this, people are feeling sorry for her because she's got trolls and she can't find what she needs. So it's just a bunch of her. Hold on. I'm getting it, guys. Oh, God, like, this is the commentary that she's giving right now. And people start gifting memberships because poor BJ, she can't find what she needs and she doesn't feel good and there's trolls. So let's buy her memberships. Let's reinforce her shitty behavior by giving her things. This is the problem over there. Do y'all realize that you might get some actual true crime coverage from her if you stop donating whenever she's like this? Don't give memberships. Don't give money if she is coming on there falling asleep, not prepared, whatever. All you're doing is reinforcing her to keep doing that and get worse even. She should not be struggling to breathe the way that she is. So, and I know people over there are like, we tell her to go to the doctor. If I'm a nurse and I am over there and I really cared about her, I would tell her, you've got to go to the doctor. And if she doesn't go, I'm not sending her money. I'm not giving her memberships. I'm not super chatting, donating. I'm not doing any of that until she goes to the doctor. Y'all act like, how y'all baby her? Y'all act like you can't offend her because she'll write you off if you offend her. Well, I mean, what kind of friend is that really? What kind of friend are you being to allow her to continue like this? This is not normal asthma. This is not normal baby. There is something wrong with her breathing. If it is just asthma, it is uncontrolled as hell because she sounds terrible. She's out of breath when she walks across the room. It's bad. And I will never understand how these nurses are really good friends and talk privately with her, but haven't been able to talk her into going to a doctor. There has to be a reason she is so against going to the doctor, and I do not believe it's because she doesn't trust medical people or whatever. There's another reason. I'm not buying that. It can't be comfortable to not be able to breathe like that or to walk across the room or whatever. It's ridiculous. And the same thing with the falling asleep. They will super chat or gift memberships then when she wakes up and she's like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not feeling good, or I didn't sleep today, or whatever. Y'all reward this shitty behavior and it continues.
If you don't like my coverage of true crime, then don't watch it. Just don't watch it. But you don't have to sit there and act like me doing true crime is destroying the world. If you don't like it, don't watch. But just because you don't like me covering cases doesn't mean that I'm going to quit. Y'all want to see me do bad. You want to see me fail, and I'm not going to. I'm sick. We've got something. It's been a really bad week. And I'm still here and I'm still trying. And if you really think that I'm disrespectful to people in the true crime community, then coming into my chat, trying to cause fights and talk trash is no more respectful to Sebastian than anything you can say I'm doing. You're coming in here distracting us from what's important. It's like they want to push you over the edge. Oh my goodness. All I wanted to do was come talk about Sebastian. That's it. I don't even know who you are. Can one of you guys check this account? You're not even, no, I already know who you are. You're not, I recognize you. Never mind. That's a troll. Jesus. All right, let me put it on members only. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna just come under members only from now on. The only reason these people they don't care about my true crime. What they care about is trying to make things worse. Just look when I try. I'm literally all I was trying to do was find the full version because everything that I have queued up is not the full version. That's it. I was just trying to find the full version of the video. Let me just try to put members only on so we can talk about it. Because I want to talk about the case. Just talk about Sebastian's case. Don't worry about these people. They're nothing. Get out of here, trolls. All right, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. How about this? Because I don't even want this attached. I sent you an email, Britt. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna end this and I'm gonna come back under members only. Okay, I love y'all. I'm gonna do a members only stream.
And also, she can't handle the trolls, guys. The trolls are horrible. She can't even go live on her own freaking channel because of all the trolls coming in. So this is just a ploy for memberships because her mods are deleting the trolls. Every creator gets trolls. I have modded for people in the past. BJ gets no more trolls than everybody else does. Do you know the difference? Other people don't try to capitalize on hate. They just ignore it. Their mods delete and they ignore. Yes, now the mods delete, BJ will still see the comments. I know that. Does she have to acknowledge them? No. If these mods are such good friends of hers, she should trust them enough to have deleted it. So when it rolls past her eyes, she can know that it's still, or that it's gone, even though she still sees it. And then she has to make the conscious decision to ignore if she wants for her channel to get anywhere. But right now, what she's doing is she's claiming that she has so many trolls she can't run a stream. So she's going to have to start doing members only all the time. Now, as I said, she doesn't get more trolls than other people do. But she's acting like she does. And she's acting like they're really bothering her and they're ruining her channel when actually her mods are deleting them as they're coming in. So half the time she will pin a troll comment or read it, and the rest of the chat never even saw it because the mods deleted it right away. But then she'll pin it or read it out loud so everybody does know what a troll said, and then claim that she's so inundated by trolls that she is going to have to start doing members only because that's the only option. There's just too many hateful people coming in here interrupting her well-prepared, awesome stream, and everything would go fine if she just didn't have the trolls. So from now on, members only chat. And it's what she's doing. There's no other answer for it because, well, like I said, the mods are deleting them. She can choose to just ignore it. She trusts her mods so much that she should know they're deleting, not have any problem with that, and just carry on. She was supposed to be looking for this stupid video clip anyway, but instead she's back there catching all the troll comments, and, you know, yeah, that's why you can't find the video, because you're too busy trying to play victim to your chat. For fuck's sake, it's ridiculous. I've never seen such. And she thinks she's being slick about it. Stop with the, it's like they want to push somebody over the edge. Stop. Nobody is pushing you. Again, she is addressing trolls in her chat. That's it. People are coming into her chat. But they're trying to push her over the edge by being trolls. Listen, if your skin is that thin that a few trolls coming in your chat is pushing you over the edge, it is time to log the fuck off. What are you doing? It's ridiculous. She is seriously acting like nobody else gets a troll. She's the only creator that gets trolled. It's ridiculous. And the manipulation, it's like they want to push me. And then she tries to tear up. She tries really hard when she's just, I just wanted to talk about Sebastian. That's it. And she's about tearing up, you know, like she didn't quite make it. She was really trying. A little easier because her nose is already stopped up, but she didn't quite get there. And then she bounces right back into yelling at a troll in the chat. And let's face it, she didn't have any videos queued up to go. Nothing. She said that at the beginning. She didn't have anything pulled up. She had to search for it. So then you get her on and on about this members only thing, and she doesn't understand all of these trolls are ruining her stream. She wasn't prepared, and now the chat's getting bored with her. More trolls are coming in because she's responding and not covering anything. And she just wants to sit and argue with the trolls. That's what she wants to do. So then she starts with, if you don't like her true crime coverage, don't watch it. Where's the coverage? Because I haven't seen it yet. Coverage of anything. I'm sorry. I will keep watching your true crime coverage because you are exploiting victims for money. You are playing other content creators' streams and content and making money off of that while you sleep and play it. You are offering knowledge about the case, to awareness about the case, anything like that. Your chat starts saying, let's just talk about Sebastian. We don't have to have the clip. Let's just talk about it. But no, BJ doesn't want to do that because that takes effort, and it would take her remembering things about Sebastian's case, which I guarantee she doesn't. And she kind of ignores that and goes back to trolls. And that was a very logical statement from her chat. Like, okay, you can't find it. Let's just talk about Sebastian. That's all we want to do. They're there to watch Sebastian coverage. They're interested in the 2-year mark. She is interested in logging on and making money. She does not care. She wants to find this video so bad because she knows that it's a little bit of a longer interview and she can flip it on, go to sleep, and it'll be fine. She doesn't have a panel guest. She has nobody to discuss with, so she can't just sit and talk about him because she would have to know things and, you know, interact and stay awake and all of that. And, well, that's not going to happen. So, Lord. She doesn't understand the problem with what she does in true crime. Or she's just playing stupid, which she does a lot, so. Let's see, then she has Haunting Hope, which was an old sub of hers, comes in and talks about her lying about all the tech issues she's had. And BJ's like, I like you, Haunting Hope, but that's rude. She's like, I don't know what's been going on with my stuff lately. Nothing. You cannot operate things when you're half asleep. That's what's wrong. You're falling asleep, hitting every button on the computer. It's knocking you off. You drop your mouse. You startle awake and start just pressing buttons so that you're not, so people don't suspect that you're asleep. There's nothing wrong with it. It's operator error. Falling asleep, basically.
If you don't think I'm taking care of my kid, you need Jesus. Seriously. He's laying down and he's had some medicine. It's a freaking cold we're coming down with. There's nothing more that I can do whether I'm online or I'm off. He's in the bed. Yeah, let me check, Caroline. I mean, please don't come in here starting in on me about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. I've been a mama for 20 years. I know how to take care of my kid.
What a statement. So she's been a mom for 20 years. Do you hear that over there? More than half of her life, she has been a mother. So when she's playing all these, I don't know what I'm doing. What do I do for a sore throat? What do I do for this? How do I do a baby registry? Bullshit. Here, when she's aggravated, the truth comes out. She's been a mom for 20 years. She knows what she's doing. So quit feeding into her little naive, babyish act that she puts on whenever she wants to appear like she is needing the help. And I think, this just came to my mind actually, but I think this is part of, you know how we hear a lot of people in her chat say that they feel like she's their daughter or their granddaughter or their sister or things like that. I think that this is part of what plays into that, is she does this naive, I need guidance. I need y'all to tell me what to give my child. I need y'all to tell me what to take for this. I need, like, you know, like seeking that motherly advice from people. I think that's part of what makes people feel so, like, protective of her and like she as a family member, because she's making these women feel needed by her. Like, they feel like they have to be there for her or she's going to fall apart because she doesn't know how to do anything. But it's all an act. If you listen to this right here, she's telling you she knows what she's doing. Granted, she didn't really raise all of those kids, but still, she has been a mom for more years than she has not been a mom. So think about that.
All right.
And so then, okay, and then this final clip, we hear she's just snoring. This is basically the last, I can't even tell you, the whole Katie interview she slept through. It was just her snoring, and she finally muted, or someone came over and muted it for her, but she did not commentate during the interview. She slept through the whole thing. At one point, it got paused, and there was just silence, and I honestly think that it's probably Craig in the room with her or a kid that's pausing and muting, and I don't think it's her because she didn't say anything when it happened. So it was just silence and the interview playing and her chat acting like nothing's happening. And then finally, when we hear her at the end snoring, they're like, log off, and then she just ends it. There's no anything. And this was her Sebastian disappearance anniversary stream. The most disrespectful thing I've seen. And the only thing that's happening is it's getting worse. Like, she literally can't do a stream at any time of the day now without falling asleep. That is extremely concerning, especially when she has to drive. Now, if this is related to her being sick, she needs to go to the doctor. Like, I am very curious what her oxygen saturation is because her breathing is bad on a good day. And now that she's so congested, it's even worse. And she could even be getting hypoxic, where she's not getting enough oxygen to her brain. If she actually has the virus and asthma, it's not a good thing. And pregnant, like, you could cause some real harm if that's what's happening. But I think it is just whatever has caused her to fall asleep for the past 2 years is either getting worse or I don't know. But there's absolutely no reason to log on here and stream whenever you cannot stay awake. And, when she came on to talk about the Queen Bee clip, her chat was actually telling her to go to sleep. And she's like, oh, I am. Just one more thing. One more thing. She has to get that victim status in before she logs off because that is her main purpose. That is what gets her money. So she's got to slip that in. But I was proud of her chat for actually telling her, log off, go to bed. You're sick. You're pregnant. You can't stay awake. And she fights against it. Like, it gets her attention, I guess. But the absolute disrespect to a victim and their family, she didn't even spell Sebastian's name right in the title. Then she sleeps through the whole interview. So she is making money off of a victim and offering nothing. She is just flat exploiting. She's not giving awareness, she's not giving information, she's not contributing anything to it. She's just playing it and making money off of it. So she wants to say, why do y'all act like it's so dangerous for me to be, y'all act like the case is going to be touched if I, don't cover it correctly. No, it's not that. It's the fact that you're exploiting these victims and their families for money. You are sleeping through streams that you are making money from solely to make money. You don't care about the victim and their family. That's not why you're doing this. You're doing it for the money, and you're making it so obvious and it's gross. That's the problem. Besides the fact that it's just disrespectful to act like they're not important enough to stay awake for, you're just profiting off of them. Okay, so that was the few clips that I wanted to play just to see what y'all think about it. If you liked that, I'll do more of it in the future. I didn't want to do a whole lot because I didn't know if y'all would like it or not. So y'all just give me your input in the comments so I know in the future if I need to do more of that or not do it. So I also want to talk about this whole threat thing that happened on Queen D's. So Queen D has an open panel. Everyone knows that. We never know what a person is going to say when they come up on a panel. We are not psychic. We don't have scripts we're going by. This is just people coming up and talking. So Queen had no idea what was going to come out of this person's mouth. And while I don't agree with getting up and saying that type of thing in that manner, because we all know that this is what DJ wants. She had to, as sick as she was and as bad as she felt, she had to go live and get that out yesterday. And look what she got, 50 gifted memberships. And I don't care. I don't care what she gets. Give her all the money. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying this is what she thrives on, is being that victim. And she totally didn't get the message because of the tone that it was given in. And the message is you don't know who is listening and who is going to be offended so greatly by what you do that they take it that step further. And we don't know. We don't know who's listening and who is unhinged and who isn't. We don't know what traumas people have been through and what might trigger them. That is a risk of being on a public platform that is available to the world. You do not know. You have to be careful with what content you put out there. But she completely missed that message because she got so focused on the delivery. And I understand. That was a pretty harsh delivery, and it gave her the victimhood she wanted. That's the big thing there. And we didn't hear the whole thing. We heard a clip from a clip channel that wants Queen and Clue gone. Apparently that's who they clip. So we don't know the whole exchange there. And of course, Queen Bee had to hide it because we know her people are going to go crazy with that. But I also want to say that BJ has had no issue with threats from Craig, because Craig has threatened people. No issue with threats from her mod Sandwich, who literally threatened nonsense that she was going to jump her in the grocery store because she lives nearby, or someone, or like Sinner, having said that he was going to kick in Queen Bee's door at one point, and who was talking about her every day in the most vile way. You let him on your panel talking about going to her town and renting a B&B and knowing what days she is alone in her house. And you thought that was hilarious. So you can't have it both ways. You cannot be upset whenever you do the same and allow it and are okay with it. And are people responsible for their panel guests or not? You got to pick a lane. You can't have it one way and other creators need to do it another way. It doesn't work like that. So just like we say, she has to poke at people to get them to do things like this. And then this woman is talking about, not everyone on here is old and disabled. And BJ is claiming, who said that? Where's she getting that from? Who said that? BJ, apparently you really tune out your man in the background, who is constantly calling people hags, talking about how old they are, these old women in their houses, they want to be young, he's constantly calling everyone old and disabled. Also, that Brenda Stapleton, and she has said this, so I'm not giving any secret information, that the reason she was able to give BJ money is because she was getting back pay. She had finally gotten disability and was getting back pay. So she used that back pay money to help BJ with this attorney, and BJ took it with no problem. There's no way in hell, if I knew that someone was giving me their disability back pay, I would say no, you keep that, because people on disability are on a very fixed income, a very small fixed income. And most people, when they get that back pay, want to save it because you know that your income is going to be so limited, and you use that back pay that is saved back for the times when you need it. So I would never take someone's back pay. BJ has no problem with that. And she also uses reality, in my opinion, who allegedly has cerebral palsy and is on her panel all the time as a co-host. She uses that to be like, y'all are attacking a disabled person. And reality is constantly saying, I'm a protected class. So that is where people get that you're taking advantage of elderly and disabled people, okay? Your man and you both have shown that. And people do not have to know you personally to have anger towards you. I don't know what you don't understand about the internet. You have been on here long enough to know you are talking to the World Wide Web. Anyone can be listening. Anyone can get angry at the things you are doing and saying. They do not have to know you personally. You do not have to have personally done something to them directly. People listen to you and react to the things that you're putting into the ether. We can all get angry about things and respond. You act like you have to know everyone individually and do something directly to them for them to be angry. That is ignorant. If you really think that way, there's a major problem in your thought processes. Also notice that if you'll listen to her, her voice changes depending on what she is saying. And I mentioned this earlier, but I just noticed this listening to her a little bit this morning, that the pitch of her voice also gets higher. This high-pitched little girl type voice whenever she is being the naive housewife who is just taking care of her kids, and she's young, and she just, I've noticed that she puts that little high-pitched baby voice on. So when you listen to her, listen for that. Listen to her voice get high-pitched whenever she is talking to subscribers that normally gift and give things to her, and when she's trying to get new viewers, as opposed to her just regularly talking to an audience. Also, if you notice the title of the video where she's going to talk about this horrible threat, she named it Threats, Incitement, and Going Real Life. Oh my. Now look, BJ usually doesn't put much thought into her titles, and they're rarely spelled right, and they're usually a few words. I find it really interesting that this is like a cutesy title for such a horrible threat. This was the main thing she came on to talk about because she's obviously barely awake, and she names it like this cutesy title because, it's after the lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. So she's like, threats, incitement, and going real life. Oh my. That interests me because she doesn't usually take time to make a title that is catchy or will draw people in. It's usually, like I said, a few words or even emojis. So it's weird that she uses this whenever she's going to talk about something so horrific and she's terrified by it, but she takes the time to make that title. I think that's weird. She's also, her subs are telling her that she should be calling the police again. And of course, she's saying, I'm calling my detective tomorrow. I'm going to let him know. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. And even some of her supporters are starting to say, like, this is weird. You always come on here talking about how people are threatening you, but when we tell you you need to go to the cops, you never follow through. You tell us all the time you're going to report things, but then you don't follow through with it. And people are starting to realize that and question it because this is what she does. She is not actually scared. This is all about putting on a show to get money. It is not about actual fear. I mean, she can't even freaking stay awake. How scared is she? I mean, seriously. She's in the middle of addressing Queen Bee and just falls out asleep, snoring. She can't finish a thought. She can't play the whole video and understand what she just saw because she's asleep. What? And it's very odd. Like, we've never seen this person around the community, unless they change their name just to be putting this thread out. So it's odd to me that we have never seen this person around. They jump up on Queens and say all of this stuff. And at this point, I don't put anything past BJ. She's getting desperate. She is losing all of her support. She officially wrote off Jonesin for saying something about Craig. She's poking at Allie, so Allie's talked about her. Sinner has turned on her. Soup is not supporting her anymore. Like, people are catching on to her bullshit. She's getting desperate. She showed that by putting her daughter on here. I would not put it past her to set up someone putting threats out towards her so that she can do this. And that would explain not calling the police. And that would explain falling asleep and not being that scared. And that would explain putting this cutesy title on this stream. It would explain tying it back to Clue, trying to poke at her. Or I could see one of her supporters saying, I'm going to do this because I know she can take it and use it. I think that people are trying to, I think it's possible that either she is trying to create more victimhood or she has a sub that is. I would not put it past her at all at this point because she is losing everyone. And I hate to even think about this, but I honestly would not put it past her doing something to be the ultimate victim. When people started talking about this, when she announced her pregnancy, I was like, please don't talk about that. Don't bring that up. Don't even think that way. But here we are. It's interesting. She's not talking about the pregnancy, which is odd for BJ. It kind of feels like she is drawing a bunch of stress or claiming a bunch of stress to do something to become the ultimate victim. And I think y'all can figure out what I'm talking about. I feel like she wants to claim something happening because of the stress of threats like this, losing subs, losing support, the New Jersey court case, her older kids now suddenly being upset about what's going on online. Then she is claiming that people are targeting her channel because Clue's channel got terminated. It gives me an icky feeling that she is building up. I am so stressed out by everyone piling on me, and I'm 6 months pregnant, and I hope I'm wrong. But like I said, I feel like she is completely desperate, and I don't think that there's anything she would not do at this point, honestly. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to, but you just have to wonder because it seems like there is a setup of trying to frame herself as being extremely stressed. I don't know how to say that. You also notice when she was playing the clip of the threats and she's falling asleep and sounding, oh, I'm so, which actually she wasn't as scared as she would be if she thought it was a threat because we know how she would sound. But she suddenly gets 50 memberships gifted, and boy, that mood changes. It is amazing to watch that. She can go from crying to laughing in a second. She got 50 memberships, and boy, she wasn't feeling so threatened all of a sudden. Also, can I just say that gong is fucking annoying. And the fact that she laughs and actually finds that funny, what is funny about a gong? Can somebody explain that? Because I do not understand. She literally laughs, and every time she's like, I think that's so funny. What the fuck is funny about the gong? I'm so confused by that. I've actually sat and thought about it. Like, am I missing something here? And she's also more focused on Queen Bee than she is the woman giving the threat. It's all about Queen Bee. It's not really about this woman. She's like, I want to give a message to Queen Bee. And Queen Bee, you know better than this. And Queen Bee, it was really odd that she focused more on Queen Bee than the person speaking. And then the lady comes into our chat and super chats her with a kind of threat. And she starts acting all Billy Badass and, talking back to her. That was weird too. If you really feel like your life is threatened, you're not going to be doing that. And can I just say, I've been seeing Muscles and Mascara's comments around, and Muscles, you are way above BJ's league. Like, I don't know how you put up with her for so long. You are so intelligent and witty, and BJ does not know what she lost when she lost to you, because I am loving your comments. They're great. But again, when I was watching and realizing that she is now falling asleep every stream, no matter what she's talking about, what time of day it is, she is falling asleep. And I am watching the chat, especially for the nurses, to be in there saying something. If she is 6 months pregnant, she needs to log off. She needs to get adequate sleep. She needs to get her lungs checked. She needs to eat regular meals. Reinforcing this behavior by giving her money and coddling her is not supporting her. She, at one point, when people were gifting memberships during a stream, she said, y'all are my true supporters. Y'all truly care. No, those aren't supporters. Those are people that are driving you into the ground, driving your channel into the ground. That's not support. Supporting what you're doing right now is not helping you. I don't understand, and it's not funny, it's not cute, it's not normal. It's just not normal. Everyone is so concerned about the stress from the haters on her pregnancy. You should be concerned about the stress that she's putting on her own body by not doing what she needs to do. She has lymphedema. We all know that in your last trimester of pregnancy, when you're sitting, you get swelling in your legs. So with lymphedema, you already have a swelling and like fluid collection in that leg. She needs to be up moving around instead of sitting at the computer all night long and get up and move around, but we know she's not doing that. She's also obviously not getting good oxygen exchange because of the way she sounds when she's breathing. So you are not helping your friend. And I cannot stand her, but if she's truly pregnant, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all okay with this? I just don't understand that. Like, she has got so many health conditions. And truly, if she is actually pregnant, y'all are watching a horrible, horrible train wreck. And you're basically pushing the gas pedal on it because she is on a downward spiral. And if y'all can't see that by watching the streams and how frequently she is now falling asleep, no matter the time of day, you'll need to step back and take a look and reevaluate how you are supporting your so-called friend. There was actually a sub saying, "Your nose sounds so bad tonight, it must hurt to breathe because it's louder than usual." If that person truly believes her nose is making those noises, oh, I don't know what to say. I mean, she's snoring, she is wheezing, she has secretions that she needs to clear. Like, that is not her nose, for the love of God. So there's also an interesting thing going on that, BJ is always trying to create divides amongst creators. For the longest time, it was between Queen Bee and Granny. And then it was between Queen Bee and Clue. And she's still trying that. She's on there saying that Queen is happy that Clue lost her channel because Clue was taking all of her audience and now she'll get her viewers back. And then she was trying to do it between Truth and Clue, saying that Truth is now covering Britney and also streaming Clue some. So she's like, Truth is taking advantage of her being gone, and now he's going to take over, like, really trying to cause tension between them, which isn't going to happen. But, and then, of course, Craig's in the background going, oh, they're all turning on each other. I love it. I love when this happens. We're going to sit back and watch them fall one by one. And he said, no honor amongst thieves. And I laugh at that because we're seeing Nick and BJ and kind of the co-plaintiffs all falling apart. And if you want to talk about no honor amongst thieves, that is the group you should be looking at that applies to, because that was a group that came together all for their own selfish wants, and it's not working out for them. That's where no honor amongst thieves is really playing out, not amongst the creators on YouTube. And reality is like, YouTube's finally getting their act together. No, I think that reality's got her act together and figured out how to strike effectively with other people, and it's finally working for them. So whenever she was going to do her Sebastian stream, she already knew that the afternoon stream, she was falling asleep. She had a break between those. Why did she not sleep? Like, I know Craig was telling her in the afternoon stream she was going to have to go get the kids soon. Why? He has a new dually. Why could he not go get the kids and let her lay down and take a nap so that she could do this important Sebastian stream later on? But no, that she can't do that. So I just don't understand. She cannot be an adult and say, I'm too tired. She cannot be an adult and log off. I don't understand that. And I hear her give an apology to Center because apparently, and I don't know because I don't watch him, but apparently she made a comment about something that he covered or said on his stream about her kids. And I guess something was brought up about it, and she apologizes to Center and says, people told me this, I didn't watch. Next time, I'll look for myself before I say anything. We all know that that's a lie because she does this all the time. People come in her chat and just say something, and she'll run with it. Never checks. And when it comes back to bite her, she'll always say, next time I'll check before I say something, but she never does it. Just like she's going to start doing more day streams, and she never does it. She's going to start doing members-only lives. Never does it. She's going to do Patreon. Never does it. All of that, like, oh, it's never going to happen. But it was interesting that she apologized to him when she does that to other people all the time and never apologizes. I also thought it was funny that she said if she had taken Clue down, that she would have said that she did and been proud of it. Yeah, right. That you knew that was going to happen. She's not going to come out here and say that she terminated somebody. That was the most ridiculous statement. She thinks people really believe that stuff too. Like, with her comment about all the time saying, when are people going to stop punishing me for the Rico and for Clue's daughter? I want to know when she is going to stop bringing up what Clue said about her parenting, claiming that she was talking shit on her kids. Or when she's going to stop bringing up CPS? When is she going to stop bringing up the quote SWAT? When the majority of us over here didn't participate in any of that. So whenever you stop bringing all that up, BJ, maybe people will stop talking about what you have done. I mean, I bet every stream she says at least one time, these people are calling my kids names, what would you do? Or if CPS was called on you, what would you do? Nobody's calling the police on you. All of this, and you have Craig in the background saying, we have your addresses. We have your whole address and your names, all of you. But we're not sending cops to your house, but we have one. Remember that. Because it seems like BJ's biggest concern with her whole pregnancy announcement was that people were going to call CPS. That was like the first thing she brought up in that whole crying announcement stream, was that she didn't want to say it because she knew that people were going to call CPS. And that's interesting to me. Children are not automatically afraid of CPS. They do not know what they are or what they're about. If you do not feed your children information that they're coming to take them away, there wouldn't be a fear there. They could just know that someone's coming to talk to them. They don't have to be afraid, but y'all feed that into your kids about everything. Also, pay attention to what BJ says whenever Craig is around as opposed to when he's not around. Because now that she doesn't have Joneson and Center backing her up and, going to bat for her and covering the people that she doesn't like, she is back to her victim status because she needs somebody backing her up to go at people. So she's now switched into the victim mode where everything is happening to her. She's innocent and people are just doing this because they don't like her and trying to be mean and trying to destroy her. But when Craig is in the room, she will do a little bit of the talking shit and biting back. But when it's the crying and poor me stuff is when he's not there. The being tough and telling people how it is when he is in the background, adding in or listening. I think that he honestly thinks her content is true crime and her defending herself. I think that he is not aware of the hours of crying poor me streams that she does, because I don't think he checks her channel or watches her at all. I think that he believes something totally different is happening. And I just noticed whenever he walks into a room, if she's crying, she cuts it off and changes the subject. So it has to be that she is hiding something from him. And I believe it has to do with her content, because he thinks that she is this very famous true crime creator that is getting attention because of her amazing true crime coverage. I don't think he realizes that most of her streams are crying victim drama, because there's a reason that she changes tones. And you also always remember that her family, Craig and her kids, are only hearing the words that she is saying. They are not hearing what is being said to BJ. So listen closely to the things that she chooses to repeat when he is in the room. It is things to inflame him. But then if he gets too inflamed, she'll try to back it down and change how she presented it to calm him down. She has to walk a very fine line there. She, in my opinion, is completely portraying her channel to be something different than it is to him. I really think that's the reason for that. And finally, I'm going to start posting every few days or so some screenshots about covert narcissist traits and how to handle them and why they do things, because I think it's very interesting for people to learn and realize the traits that BJ has that fall under covert narcissist traits. And I'm not diagnosing by any means. This is my opinion. Let me read a few, okay? This is understanding a covert narcissist. They appear humble, introverts, but they crave admiration and control. They just hide it better than overt narcissists. They manipulate through guilt, victimhood, or the silent treatment. Key traits are they have a victim mindset. Check. Passive aggressive. She can be. Emotional manipulation. Check. Hidden envy and resentment. Check. criticism sensitivity, double check. No accountability, check. Low empathy, check. Every one of those traits she displays. How it feels to be around them. Constant self doubt and confusion. That's from the gaslighting. Guilt for setting boundaries. So people that say don't want to go into her chats when she's sleeping or don't want to go on panel when she's been falling asleep, and she will make them feel guilty by saying they hurt her feelings or they're being unfair or judgmental or whatever, or it's about her parenting. Always something. You will feel hyper vigilant about what you're saying. You're tiptoeing around because if you give criticism or commentary, you are the bad guy. You cannot do that. So you're constantly vigilant about what you're saying and doing as to not step on her toes. Like her children going from waking her up by saying it to snapping, clapping, the way they were allowed to wake her up changed because of her reaction. And there's gradual loss of self-worth whenever you're around a narcissist that much. And that's what bothers me about the toxic situation in that home for the children is not so much that they're physically harmed by anything there, but they're growing and what they're learning and being exposed to. So there's like a pattern for a covert narcissist where there's an initial charm and idealization. So then they shower them with attention, compliments, and gestures of affection. That's the, pulling up a comment and, oh, you're so pretty. Did you change this? People that have been there, she will compliment them for something they've done. You'll notice that immediately, especially with new viewers in her chat, that she'll pull them up and compliment them. And then there is the devaluation and manipulation. And this is after they are there and they've been showered with attention, they kind of get pushed aside. And this is when the manipulation starts, where you are manipulated into following along and doing what she wants because otherwise you become the bad guy and the guilt trip starts. Then there's victimization and self-pity. These people often portray themselves as victims, emphasizing their own suffering or hardships to gain sympathy or attention. And then triangulation and gaslighting. To maintain control, a narcissist may employ tactics like triangulation, where they involve a third party to create a sense of competition or insecurity. And she does this with her mods a lot, with her different mod chats, by having separate chats with separate people and creating kind of a competition paranoia amongst her mods. And also the gaslighting we experience anytime we watch her, because she will give you an alternate reality where you did not hear what you heard, you did not see what you saw. So, yeah. Our community is in an interesting point of kind of disarray. We have Clue, who lost her channel and is on Kick. We have almost all the creators have now started dual streaming to Kick in case their channel goes down, because we know mass reporting or something is going on, because people are still getting hit for age restrictions and things are going on that still tell us people are going through old streams and reporting things. They're also reporting individual comments. So be careful what you're commenting, because people are reporting comments now. It's a uncomfortable thing, and I don't know why anybody starts this strike war stuff, because it doesn't end well. It makes everybody uncomfortable. It makes the community not a good place to be. I hate it. And I know the creators are constantly feeling like they're on eggshells when they go live, because they know that people are watching for any slip up that they could report. So it's stupid. Everybody deserves the right to have a platform to talk on. Also, people need to learn the definition of defamation, because it is not what some people are saying it is. And again, I'm going to bring up the going around saying that Granny faked cancer. I guess this didn't come across in my other video about this, but she did not fake cancer. She had multiple biopsies taken. One of the biopsies came back as cervical cancer, and it was staged, and it was removed with a cone procedure. She had cancer. She did not fake it. It wasn't precancerous. It was cancer. So the people going around continuing to say that she faked cancer, that is absolutely defamation per se. And I love it for y'all. Keep spreading that around, because anybody that she chooses to take to court over that, she'll absolutely win, because she has the medical documentation to prove it. So yeah, I had to throw that in there. But I personally, I don't like Kick, I don't like Rumble, and I don't like change either. So I'm kind of a person of habit. And maybe it's just the change thing, but it's weird over there. Everything feels foreign. I don't know. I don't like it. I've always been on YouTube. I'm comfortable on YouTube, and I hate that people are taking that away. It's absolutely stupid. If you have someone on your channel in the background constantly threatening and accusing people of crimes and sexual crimes, and then you want to remove other people for how they talk, I can't get down with that. Like, if one goes, the other should go, and that's my opinion. I'm not doing it. I'm not targeting or reporting. I'm just stating how I feel about it. It made the community even more shitty. As if things in the community weren't toxic enough, now we have to add in this everybody worried about losing their channel. We went through this whenever we heard Craig threatening it all the time, but now it's actually happening, and it sucks. Wonder why? Just because somebody can't handle criticism? Because correction is the issue, right? I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I know that other people that have lost channels on here have tried going to other platforms and failed multiple times before finally settling on another platform, but then still coming back here a little bit. So it's hard to get away from YouTube. And it sucks because there are older and disabled people that have trouble learning new platforms and that really depended on Clue's streams to, make them laugh or keep them company or whatever. And people have taken that away. So I don't agree with it. I really don't. But if you're going to agree with it, you have to agree that the other channel is doing just as egregious things. And that's another thing. Can somebody please teach BJ a new catch word? Because I'm tired of hearing egregious. I actually used to say that a lot, and now I don't want to say it because she says it. Somebody teach her a new word, please. All right, I guess I'll wrap this up here. It's been long enough. I've rambled. Again, if you want to say a prayer for me for my surgery on Monday, I would appreciate it. I don't want a prayer for the code, but this is a little more important than that, so I don't know. But yeah, so if I'm gone for a few days, if I don't get to the comment section to reply or whatever, I apologize. That's why. I had somebody comment recently that they appreciate me responding in the comment section because they don't get to chat in the live chats a lot, and you leave comments and they don't get answered. And I understand that. I try really hard to reply with actual, like, conversational comments to people in my comment section because I know how that is. A lot of times I'm just listening to a stream and I'm not actually chatting, or I'm chatting and I'm not reading the other people's comments. But when you listen, you're like, oh, I want to say something about that. And when you're doing the replay, it's so frustrating. And then you'll leave a comment with what you wanted to say and it gets ignored. And you're like, man, what a wasted thought. But so I try to respond to everybody. I do. If I don't, leave me another one and it'll announce, it'll notify me again and I'll see it. Sometimes they get overlooked. YouTube does weird things where they don't notify some, where they hide some of them for me to approve, and I don't know why. But anyway, I think that's everything. Like, it's just wild. I don't know. Everybody kind of open your eyes and watch what you see going on over there. Listen for the changes in her voice and attitude and the traits of the covert narcissist that she fits into, and what she talks about when Craig is in the background, and ask yourself why. Yeah, that's it. Don't make threats. Everybody play nice. Give all the commentary and criticism you want, but just also when you're in the chats, remember that these creators are feeling stress about getting terminated. Watch what you say. That's all. So I will talk to y'all. It'll probably be another week or two, but I will do another one as soon as I can, and I will talk to you soon.